Is there life on other planets? The two most common reactions to this question are fear and fascination. The debate on whether life exists on other planets tends to remain either black or white, yes or absolutely no way. Many factors must be considered when trying to understand why an individual believes or disbelieves in extraterrestrials: culture, imagination, religion, personal experience. If those who believe life does in fact exist beyond our planet would take a step away from opinion and jump into the field of scientific study, they would, if not convince disbelievers, be able to present facts that would surely cause reasonable doubt. Evidence of extraterrestrials having come to Earth is found all around the world. In 1938, a team of archaeologists were checking into caves that had been supposedly man-made. Located near the border of China and Tibet, the caves yielded what would become controversial information and artifacts. Among the most controversial were 716 discs, identical in appearance. Each measured 9 inches across and 3/4 inch thick, and had a circular 3/4 inch hole precisely in the center. Upon further study, it was noted that each of these discs had lines radiating from the center, much like the groove pattern of a vinyl record. Each line consisted of minutely carved symbols. It wasn't until 1962 that someone was able to decode the messages inscribed on the CD-like discs. The dropastones, as these discs are called, allegedly tell of a spacecraft crashing to Earth. The inhabitants, unable to repair their ship, adapted to their new world. The text on the dropastones is a history of the extraterrestrials' life on Earth. Initially, those who knew of the stones refused to believe what they were hearing. It was impossible. Pure science fiction. Carbon dating, developed by Willard Libby and his team at the University of Chicago in 1949, dated the stones to around 10,000 BC. The age of the discs, along with other unexplainable physical evidence found at the archaeological site, pointed to a people who were evolved far beyond those inhabiting our planet at the time. Even with the amount of evidence scientists have gathered on the dropastones, there are still those who refuse to believe this proves visitors from space. They continue to claim it is a hoax and focus only on disproving the theory to the rest of the scientific community. If the dropastones were the only registered study of in-your-face evidence of ancient astronauts being an observable fact and possibly even interacting with people throughout the ages, it would be easier to accept the hoax theory. But these disks are but a speck in the solar system when it comes to evidence supporting these space visitors. Archaeologists and speleologists have found cave art in countries around the world. Some drawings resemble disks with lights or windows, while others show what appears to be rays or flames radiating from the craft. What looks remarkably like a person or groups of people are depicted in helmets, or what could be spacesuits or uniforms. Some of these figures had tubes running from their rounded headgear to their clothing, much like the oxygen packs of our present-day astronauts. Initially, cave drawings were thought to be another of modern man's attempts to perpetrate and prove the existence of space travelers. But as more and more undeniably similar images were found thousands of miles and centuries apart, this was no longer a plausible explanation and was scientifically discounted. Cave art suggesting visitors from space is documented and dated on the walls of caves in Australia, France, Spain, Japan, Africa, Tanzania, Egypt, Italy, Mexico, the United States, and many other countries. Carbon dating has shown some drawings to be as much as 50,000 years old. A point of interest to scientists, as well as individuals who follow the newest alien research data, is the fact that there seems to have been a significantly greater number of drawings found that date between 10,000 BC and 12,000 BC. Does this mean our planet was being visited more often during this period of time, and if so, for what reason? Or perhaps there are many more caves yet to be discovered whose walls are etched with thousands of years of extraterrestrial history on Earth. And if and when more drawings are discovered, will it answer questions that will unfold the story of the exploration and habitation of our planet? There is enough research on this and closely related topics to fill large libraries. Included in the research information are one-on-one interviews with people who claim they have had close encounters with alien life forms. Yet, even with coinciding statements by those involved in the encounters, there are still vast numbers of the Earth's population who refuse to believe these encounters actually occurred. Conspiracy theories and cover-ups by governments explain away the tiny grain of uncertainty in their minds. Theories, after all, are intangible, easily discounted and subject to personal opinion. Cave art, on the other hand, is physical evidence and lends itself to studied and tested truth. Another source of tangible proof of alien visitation being factual can be found in the paintings of some of the greater and lesser-known artists who have lived throughout the millenniums. The Madonna with St. John, Sebastiano Mindardi, The Baptist of Christ by Flemish artist Art de Gilder, 1710, The Crucifixion, painted in 1350, Summer's Triumph, a tapestry created in Bruges in 1538. Paintings, tapestries, and manuscript illustrations exist in galleries and museums around the world. Carbon dating cave drawings, art, and ancient discs are all part of an immense collection of tangible evidence telling us that we are not alone in this vast space filled with worlds we can only imagine.
The Dogu statues, crafted by the Jomon people of Japan and dated to about 5000 BC, have an oddly mechanical appearance. They tend to have large faces, small arms and hands, and compact bodies. Some appear to wear goggles or have heart-shaped faces. Most have marks on the face, chest, and shoulders, which suggest tattooing and probable incisions with bamboo. Dogu first appeared in early Jomon, but began to flourish in middle Jomon through late Jomon, and were found all over Japan, with northern Japan, the Tohoku region, yielding the most variety. Archaeologists are baffled by these statues because they resemble no other objects on Earth. As for Jomon pottery, Dogu has various styles by exhumation area and generation. According to the National Museum of Japanese History, the total number found throughout Japan is approximately 15,000. Most of the Dogu have been found in East Japan, and it is rare to find one in West Japan. Now they can be found in the Japan Archaeological Collection of Tohoku University, Sendai, and several museums in Japan. Although huge numbers of Dogu statues were dug up by the archaeologists in various stages of detail, but many were found broken, and seemingly on purpose. Unbroken figures are rare, and most are missing an arm, leg, or other body parts. In many cases, the parts have been cut off. The purpose of the Dogu remains unclear, but most likely the Dogu acted as effigies of people that manifested some kind of sympathetic magic. There are many theories on what they were used for, with the main agreement being that they were a talisman for good health or safe childbirth. As many were excavated in fragments, it's believed that after the wish was fulfilled, or not, the Dogu was broken and thrown on the trash heap. That's where many were discovered. Another theory is that these were goddesses, to whom the Jomon people prayed to for food and health. Other explanations are toys for children, funerary offerings, or objects used in some unknown ritual. And of course, there are those who believe they were aliens from outer space as ancient astronauts, while Vaughn M. Green, in his books Astronauts of Ancient Japan and the 6,000-Year-Old Spacesuit, argues that these statues are actually spacesuits worn by extraterrestrials who visited Earth thousands of years ago. Dogu statues are totally unique. There are no other figures exactly like them in the ancient world. In several years of research, archaeologists have found indications that these same ancient astronauts were seen all over the world. The 7,000-year-old drawings at Valcamonica, Italy, the prehistoric Thessaly in Sahara, and ancient Australian Aborigine sketches all show helmeted, suited up figures. There are statues such as the Tula giants in Mexico, the Tiwanaku space gods in Bolivia, the Cro-Magnon Venus cult of Europe, which show similar features. Figurines of the 8,000-year-old Mohenjo-Daro culture in India are almost identical. If you enjoy this video and want to see more like it, please consider subscribing to us and hitting the like button. Feel free to write a comment below and suggest which theory you want to see next. If you'd like to further support this channel, please consider joining. Our membership link will be found in the description box below. We appreciate your support, and as always, thanks for watching.